So this game starts out with... What the...
Urinary tract infection.
Honestly, I'm flattered that you would consider me the bigger fish. I mean, even the little poster for it makes the main player look like he was about to take a dookie on the ground. This game starts out a lot different than the other two, with the first thing you see being the game asking you to make a choice. It asks whether you want to be a detective or an investigative reporter. I of course choose the obvious choice of detective considering, well, isn't it obvious? I then walk into the office of Detective Murillo, who you may recognize from the previous game as the cop who kept calling you throughout, except now he's a middle-aged man, so this seems to take place many years in the future.
Don't poke your nose in that. No, I don't care if you're on overtime. Just fix the damn thing. Damn plumbers. So, you keep saying you're ready for the big stuff. Well, today's your lucky day.
What the heck? First person?
Awards won't get you respect. Look, you're the only one around this whole damn place I can trust. Everyone else is too set in their way of thinking. This is a secret operation, so you keep your mouth shut. Anyone finds out about this and our careers are toast. Turn the phone on when you're out of the station and alone. I'll give you more instructions soon.
What the heck? This
I
is
wish
so
I could
cool.
say it's a matter of life and death, but I'm afraid it's more than that. Don't screw this up.
Whoa, this is so cool. An intro sequence? Oh! What? This is awesome. Hard to believe this came from the Sarah is Missing game. How much this has grown. This is so cool. This music slaps. Simulacra 2. We open the phone to find it all glitched and messed up. Detective Murillo has started texting me through some kind of special app. He says that he needs my help with a murder case, and I ask him what is with all the secrecy for just a simple murder case. He says that he is desperate because the chief closed the case within a week in order to reach their monthly quota. He seems to think that they are wrong about this being a closed case and that there's more going on here. He says that in order to solve this case, he borrowed the only thing that he needed to solve it, the victim's phone. I ask why he stole evidence, and he says that he only borrowed it. You know, you're not quite Taylor, but I'm starting to like you, Murillo. I do tell him that he violated protocol because this is what a good detective would say, and you know that I am a good detective. You are not a detective. You are not a detective. You are not a detective. Detective Murillo then explains the case to me, saying that a woman named Micah who was found dead after an anonymous call tipped off the police. Murillo seems to think this is a little too convenient. I ask him if there is any evidence to support this theory, and he says the video she sent seems to show that she knew something bad was going to happen. So I decide to check out the video he is talking about.
This is all my fault. I saw all
Okay.
the signs, but I just wrote them off. It was just so much easier to believe that I was just imagining things. I didn't know it would get this bad. I knew it was gonna be dangerous. I felt it. I can feel it coming for me. And I think it's watching me. And I think it wants to hurt me. Or worse. I have to stop this thing. Before it's too late.
Murillo then tells me that this reminds him of some of his stranger cases, like the time someone got possessed by a phone. Hey, that's from the first game. No way. He then tells me that he is putting me on the Department of Obscure Phenomena, otherwise known as DUPE, which looks into the more supernatural cases of the department. He says that our first mission is to restore the phone. He says that he downloaded the Warden app on here, which takes existing files and uses them to restore corrupted files on the phone. Sure, that's kind of an insane technology, but what I have to wonder is, how did he download anything on this phone? I mean, look at it. He then sends me the manual on how to use the software. Useful. Okay, let's see.
Since the department is pinching pennies, I'll be conducting this training manual for our new app. It's called, never mind. You know what I'm talking about. This app is a powerful data recovery tool and clue detection tool. It does this by crypting blowfish, which is, cryptology. What is important is this app can scan pieces of information and offer us new pieces of information. You just click here on this button to start a scan, and the results will pop in this space here. You can then sort through the recovered data to find possibly crucial evidence for your case.
This is unrealistic. But
to exit, just press the home button here. As you can see, this simple but sophisticated technology will help the force do our jobs better and faster. I look like an idiot.
Wow. That was beautiful, I believe. I got to say, I'm beginning to like Murillo a lot more than I did Teddy. I then used the clue that I found through Maya's last video in order to restore some of the phone's data. I am then told by Murillo to look through the police file in order to find more about the crime scene. However, instead of doing that, I decided to look through the phone to see if I can find any clues. I found out through one of her messages that she joined some kind of influencer group called New Beginnings. The people in this group include her, Rex, Arya, and Mina. I then find out through her Chimera, which is the equivalent of Instagram, that she is a huge internet celebrity for her fitness and health videos. After figuring all that out, I finally decided to read through Maya's case file. After putting in the correct information, I am able to access her case file. I look through it and see that she died through many face tears and also some unexplained tears at the arteries of her heart. I then tried to go talk to Murillo about this information and, well... Transcript number 1, Mrs. Tench. Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. What the heck? It's like, what's going on? I immediately presume assault is the cause of death, and he says that they ruled it out. I then ask if there were any witnesses, and he says that the old lady across the hall said that she was home that night, but no others that we are aware of. He says that the only other evidence that we got is the fact that her friends' prints were on her, but since they were her friends, they ruled out the possibility of assault from them. He then tells me that he knows there is more evidence within the phone that will help them find out the truth. He says that her entire life is on the phone due to her being an influencer. I then find another corrupted file in the Warden app and use Maya's case file in order to reconstruct it, which comes up with a video for us to play.
There still has to be a way to fix this, right? We're gonna have to destroy this thing. We have to. We don't have a choice. I think I have it figured out. And we just need to get everybody here.
Who's she
We
talking
can get rid
to?
of this thing together. It has to work. It absolutely has to work.
Who's she talking to? Is she talking to the Simulacra?
And if you're watching this, and if we don't make it out alive, if we mess up and I don't make it out alive, please watch the webcam footage. You'll see everything that you need to see.
I then get to talking with Murillo about the video, and he says that the webcam footage she was talking about must be on her computer, and I need to find a way to access it through her phone. I then go to her photos to find that there is a cloud sort of thing that allows me to connect to her computer's data. However, it is password locked. Before I'm able to do anything about that, Murillo starts to be an absolute charm. Okay. Activate camera. Excuse me? Sorry, that wasn't for you.
Setting up the damn camera.
Detective Murillo, you silly goose. You are so far my favorite character, Detective Murillo. Need help with your camera? Shut up and get back to work. I then noticed that Maya's group chat has started to text each other, and I begin to wonder if I can question them for clues. I immediately begin by confirming to them that I am a detective. I tell them that we have begun to suspect foul play in the case and are looking into it. They begin to ask if we have any leads into the investigation, and I assure them that we are leaving no rock unturned. After they tell me to just get this over with, I begin questioning them immediately. The first thing I ask them is, did they see Maya the day that she died? They all say no, and that Maya has been ghosting them for a while. They said that everything has been going great when they made their little group, until Maya started acting weird. I asked them how she was acting weird, and they tell me she had been acting real paranoid, but they had just chalked it up to being stressed from the influencer stuff. I asked them if there's anything else they would like to share, and they say that there was no saving her, and that is just how it happens sometimes. I then let them go and go to relay this information to Murillo, and, well... hello? Maya, is that you?
weird things are happening. I like that the scary factor's gone up in this game.
After that, I decide to talk to Murillo and tell him that I believe that her friends are hiding something about her death that they don't want us to know. He then says that he needs me to talk to each member of the group individually in order to get more answers out of them. He tells me that when they are in a group, they can cover for each other, but in the classic prisoner's dilemma, if you split them up, then you can make them crack. So I decide to go talk to Mina first. It seems from Mina's post that she is a wannabe rock star who can't seem to connect with her fans on a personal level. I begin texting her, telling her that we need to talk. She instantly asks if we can go back to the group to talk. She's clearly hiding something that I can hopefully crack out of her. After roughing her up a bit, I decide to give her a little good cop and just ask her side of the story. She seems to be very sentimental about the whole situation, and I ask if she was a close friend of Maya. She says that Maya was her manager, but she was also her friend, and that she would never be the person she was today without Maya. She says that they all owe Maya a lot, and it was a shame that she became so stressed out when she lost her followers. I then asked the obvious question, asking if she had any stalkers since one of them could have possibly killed her. She said no stalker, but just some pretty crazy fans. I then let her go, knowing that I won't get anything else out of her for now. I then decide to go and talk to Rex, who is an entrepreneur who wants you and all his followers to be a part of his business, but he just seems to have some strings being pulled behind the scenes. I tell him we need to talk, alone, and he decides to make a joke out of Maya's death. He clearly shows no remorse for what happened to her. He then tells me I'm humorless when I don't find his rude joke very funny. I'm already starting to not like this guy. I asked him if Maya was his business partner. He says yes, that all four of them were, and that with Maya gone, it has affected his business with problems continuing to pile on. I then ask him about where he was the night that Maya died. He says that he was editing one of his videos. Rex then tries to give me his theories on the whole thing by saying that she went on some detox thing and messed up her face. When he says that, I know I got him, because no one should know that Maya had her face messed up. He then tries to play it off as a wild guess, but I know that somewhere he is hiding the truth. He then continues to go on about how, with Maya gone, business is bad for everyone. So I decided to let him go for the moment. Before moving on to the next one, I decided to read through all their texts with Maya. And I found out that they all got into a big fight with Maya over something. Finally, I talked to Arya, a fashion and makeup influencer who seems to think that she deserves the world handed to her on a silver platter just for being herself. However, when denied this, though, what will she do to get everything she wants? I decide to be a little nicer while still having caution, knowing that she seems like the type of person who would tell me anything to get me off her back. She immediately starts asking for a lawyer, which makes me suspicious of what is she hiding if she wants to hide behind someone else. She ends up not getting a lawyer, and I ask her what her relationship with Maya was like. She says that they were good friends, but everything is falling apart because she has to keep up with this image while mourning. I ask her if she has any theories about what happened to Maya, but all she seems to care about is keeping her followers. So I confronted her about saying that it is all fake. She seems to come up with some half-cracked response with why not caring about yourself is worth it, and I just decide to move on from that question completely. I then go to ask her where she was the night Maya died. She says that she was recording a video that night and that maybe work strain is the real killer here. I asked her about this, and she said that maybe she was so stressed at work, that is why she dropped dead in her living room. And with those simple words, I knew I got her. I asked her how she knew she died in her living room, and she seems to get real defensive. I then let her go, knowing I have all I need. Before I go and relay the information I just found in Murillo, I end up looking at Chimera and see if I can find any more clues. However, I end up seeing a really weird ad that I can't seem to look away from. Tired of losers holding back your perfect self? How about trolls spewing hate on you? Don't you deserve loyal admirers instead of persistent haters? Probably, yeah. Ever wish you could reshape your current reality? Take these questions, see how you like your reality to be shaped into. Which image best describes how you see yourself now? This one. Next. What would you take on your journey? What would your journey to the top feel like? A lot of work. What do you seek the most? Airplanes, plans, I like the colors. What would you change about yourself? I mean, it'd be easier without glasses, so... What are you willing to become? I like the cow creature. Cows are pretty cool. What? You are a charm personified. When you talk, people listen. Others desire to rise to your level, so your challenge lies in relating to your audience without intimidating them. Strengthen your perfection by projecting into facet. After that strange experience, I went back to Murillo and told him the good news about how I was able to speak to each of them individually. I ended up telling him about how I don't trust them because they all seem to know details about the crime scene. I tell him about how Rex knew about the marks on the face and Arya knew where she died. I tell Murillo that I think they were most likely at the crime scene. He seems to agree with this theory, however, they can't determine anything without sufficient evidence. So I then tell him that her death is most likely connected to their jobs. He says that it is a good hunch, but we would need more proof to determine if that were true. He then tells me that he thinks they are lying, and that the only way to get evidence from this is to look at her computer. Murillo says that he would go back into the evidence room, but the chief changed the logs. So I get to work finding a way into her computer. It is stored in the cloud, but I need a password in order to get in. So I click on the forgot password, and it asks me 3 security questions. The first one is what is most valuable to you. After a bit of investigating, I find through her Chimera page that she considers her followers the greatest gift to her. The second question is what is your favorite song? I answered this one by putting in the only song that has been downloaded, but for those wondering, she says in a Jabber post that this is her favorite song. The final question is what quote do you relate to the most? The answer to this one is in her group chat, where she says that she loves the poem where it talks about new beginnings. It took me way too long to find this one. I literally dug through every nook and cranny of this phone to find it and found a bunch of clues, so instead of telling you about them all individually and make this video 10 hours long, I'm instead going to tell you I found a bunch of clues so you're not confused later. Anyway, I finally got into the computer. Only one video has been synced, so I decided to watch it.
We have to stop it. Otherwise, we're all going to die. Please, please just trust me.
I mean, like, why would a boosting service want to kill us?
Because the Ripple Man said...
Okay, the Ripple Man is not real, Maya. You have to stop it. The service is a bit weird, yes, but it's probably just a marketing ploy and a prank to mess with our heads.
A prank! Our following shot right through the roof after we signed up. That's not normal!
Come on, it's just an algorithmic hack. It doesn't run on magic.
This thing wants me as the sacrifice. If we don't stop it, this is not gonna end with me.
What's this Ripple Man gonna do? Wave us to death?
If I show it to you on my phone, will you believe me?
Okay, sure. This one? All of this can be explained, babe. You're just stressed out, okay?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. You're just stressed out.
I'm not throwing away my future because you're going nuts.
I'm not crazy! I'm trying to save us, all of us!
Maybe if we use a different service or something.
It's too maybe that might help me. Late for that now. This is already happening, but we can stop it. We can
Okay,
stop it.
this is all just because of that stupid deal, right? Okay, look, no one's gonna take that deal, so nothing's gonna happen.
You know I'm not stupid enough to go for some vague trade. Hey, are you okay?
What is happening to her. I then used this video in order to unlock a hidden group chat lost within the phone. The group chat talks about how they are all joining this boosting service called TRM that would help them with their followers. As you read through the text a little, while after they sign up for the service, Maya ends up asking them to come over to her place so she can explain this whole ordeal. After this, I end up showing the evidence to Murillo, and he seems very excited about the idea of this Ripple Man being real. He then says that we need them to spill it about what went down that night, and I suggest just showing them the video. He says that's a great idea, and asked me to get onto that as soon as possible. However, I asked him about this TRM service that was mentioned in the group chat. I also told him about how the phone flipped out when I responded to the ad. He then mentions an old case that had similar things happen. He says that he has to go look something up, but to ask the kids about this and see what they know. So I go to the kids and ask them questions about the TRM ad. Rex immediately gives away that they wiped Maya's phone in order to not get arrested or investigated. So they all start freaking out and throwing the blame at each other until I calm them down and ask for an explanation. They explain that they were the ones who tipped off the police, and they say that they did it to protect themselves because no one would believe what actually happened. So I asked them what it was that they were actually trying to hide. They say that it is the TRM, or Tailored Reputation Management. It is a service that gets rid of all the bad rep you could have caused to yourself, however, it ends up taking great sacrifice. The others immediately begin to blame each other for taking the deal and sacrificing Maya. However, in order to get them all to stop playing the blame game with each other, I end up showing them the video of all of them at the crime scene. I tell them they're all suspects now because of this video. They end up telling me that they did it because no one would have believed that a face-tearing monster ripped into her. This instantly gains my attention, and I ask them to explain. They say that she began to freak out when they all met with her, when all of a sudden her face just burst open. They end up telling me this, and I just ask them straight up who took the Ripple Man's deal. This doesn't turn out well, however, because they all start blaming each other for what happened and mentioning all these horrible things that they have done in the past. I end up trying to calm everyone down and saying let's take this one step at a time, but that doesn't seem to work because they all say that I have nothing on them in order to bring them in. Actually, I do have something to bring you all in. You see, you all lied to the police, and the penalty for lying to the police is a good 1 to 2 years in prison. So yeah, I think I have something on you all. However, for some reason that doesn't seem to work with them as they all leave the chat as the phone begins to... well...
Bye. Okay, the phone's breaking. What the... Okay, that's a picture. Is this from whose perspective? Is this from Maya's perspective?
As I head to talk to Murillo, I get a call from Rex saying he's going to sue me if I keep looking into this crap. Boy, do I hate this guy. Sure hope he doesn't put a killer music halfway through this game that makes me completely question how much I actually hate him. But what are the odds of that happening, am I right? Anyway, I go back to Detective Murillo in order to tell him about Rex threatening me. He then tells me that I have to get back to work on the phone immediately because we are dealing with the Simulacra. I instantly ask him what he is talking about, and he says that they are creatures that are not that well known and that they live within the phones and they trick real-life people into obeying their will. He says that this creature has named itself the Ripple Man, and that it tricks its victims by promising fame on Chimera and then takes their soul away. He says that one of them must have taken the deal and taken Maya as the price. I immediately thought to myself, well, Maya doesn't have any criticism, and she just got a bunch of followers recently, so she probably took the deal for herself. I shoot this idea at Murillo, and he instantly tears it down, saying that the evidence doesn't prove anything. I love you, Murillo, but just stupid. It is so obvious that Maya took the deal. Anyway, he then says that we need to figure out who took the deal by finding out what they did to upset the public. He expects me to look into this through Maya's phone. I then do some digging into each of their Chimera pages and only find some evidence for Arya and Mina. Apparently Arya got a deal with the Lurin brand to be one of their sponsors.
Hola, chicas! So, super exciting news.
Oh gosh.
Guess who's the latest Allurin brand ambassador? I'm so totally honored by this opportunity because I love the Allurin brand ethos, which is stay true to yourself. Now, you queens know that I only ever support brands that I really truly believe in because I'm no beauty bot and you lovelies made me, so I gotta keep it real.
However, the video seems to have a ton of backlash towards it. On the other side of things, Mina seems to have gone through a tragedy where one of her best friends died in a car crash. I use these clues in order to unlock 2 different deleted items from the phone. I read through a recovered text message between Maya and Mina and find out that the story of losing her best friend in a car crash isn't as real as she is leading on. The information that I got for Arya is an email talking about how she actually got rejected from Allurin, so it makes you wonder how she did end up getting the sponsorship. I ended up getting a message from Murillo after, saying that I should look into the directory about my supposed best friend. So that's what I do, and after 30 minutes of searching and putting information, I finally figure out that there is a road accidents section to the directory that I didn't notice this entire time. After putting in all that information in its correct section, I am able to access the report on the hit and run that Mina experienced. It turns out that there were 2 witnesses to the car crash, Mina herself and a girl named June Kovac. So I ended up contacting June Kovac in order to get the information out of her. I immediately tell her that I am a police officer trying to look into a hit and run. I tell her that I am looking into Mina and she seems to confuse that with the hit and run driver themselves. I immediately tell her that is not the case and that it is about the other witness, and then she tells me that she recognizes the name as the other witness of the crash. I told her that she said that Erica was her best friend. This seems to immediately make her confused. I then showed the evidence of what she has been saying online, and she starts freaking out. I asked her for proof of her never knowing Erica, and she gives me an article. She then says that this has made her mad enough, and she can't talk about this anymore. I then see that she's posted the truth on Jabber. After all that, another video ends up showing up on Maya's computer.
Another video?
Oh. Oh my god. Oh, Maya. Is she breathing?
Don't.
Mina, check her pulse.
Just.
We need to call the cops. No. Tell them what? That Maya was torn up by some evil monster thing. What demon? I don't know.
Mass hysteria. This is like gas leak. This is a gas leak. Yeah.
Rex, just stop, okay? It's bad enough as it is. Just shut up, Rex. Shut up. What do we do now? Okay, we can't just stay here and not do anything, okay? We have to just figure this out and just keep calm and yes.
Yeah. We gotta run. We have to run. We have to get one-way tickets. We have to get out of here.
What? No, what's wrong with you? We have to figure this out, okay? Okay, somehow we have to figure this out. Maya was telling the truth. Oh my god. Let's just calm down. Work this out together. Calm down.
She was right. She was right. It's not gonna stop.
Well, what gave you that
That
idea?
means that one of us made the deal.
Who made the deal?
Another deleted file then shows up on the Warden app, and I use some evidence that I was telling you I wasn't going to tell you about in order to unlock it. Turns out it's a conversation between Maya and a worker at Chimera. They seem to have chemistry between each other, but Maya eventually turns him down because she doesn't want people to think badly about her dating a Chimera worker. After this, I end up searching for the clues I need in order to unlock the secret that Rex is keeping in his phone. I eventually find it in a Jabber post about Rex getting a new recruit to his company. I use this to unlock a deleted email within the phone. This email is about Rex scamming someone that Maya knew personally, and she ends up getting really mad at him for it. With all the evidence I currently have on Mina, I decided it is high time that I finally confront her about the whole situation. I tell her that she has some explaining to do about the whole situation with lying about being a victim. She tries to explain that it did happen, but she wasn't as involved as she says. And all I ask is, why make it her story? She ends up going on this long, big tangent about how she did it because no one would listen to her music, unless there was some kind of tragedy or connection attached to it. I tell her that the trauma was real for someone, and that it was wrong to bring a tragedy like that and use it for likes. She seems to think that she is helping them in some way, and I just tell her that she is using self-pity for attention. She doesn't seem to like that, but it is the truth. She does end up saying that Maya was the reason she didn't take the deal because that would have been the easy way. So I tell her that Maya must have helped her grow as a person. She says that she should have listened to Maya because by the time she did it, it was too late. I reassure her that she can stop it from happening again. She seems to believe that she can't help, but I try to reassure her that she can help us win. I eventually get her to tell me about a ritual that will help make the Rippleman go away. She then says that they need to delete all of their accounts at once using some special software. She says the only way to get this software is to talk to a Chimera worker that Maya was in the cahoots with. She ends up giving me his contact information and telling me to pretend to be Maya in order to get the download for that software. So I go to talk to this Chimera worker that luckily I know a lot about from the recovered text from earlier. I instantly start to manipulate him into thinking that I am Maya. All you do is manipulate. He starts to tell me that he has heard some insane rumors about me today. I ask him to tell me, and he says that people were saying that Maya was dead. That would be crazy, am I right, guys? Anyway, he begins to ask me questions like where we first met and what Maya and his favorite spot to eat was. Luckily, I got all these right since I studied for this exam. He ends up telling me that he is quitting his job at Chimera, and I try to be supportive as to get what I want from him. He says that since he isn't going to be working at Chimera, then the conflict of interest is gone, and maybe they can start dating. I of course say yes to this in order to get what I want, and after the fact he looks at me and says that the software is ready to download, and he sends me the link. I honestly feel really bad for this Ruben guy because he is currently dating a corpse. I then use it to download the software, and I tell Mina, who is now on the team. Detective Morello then sends me a text saying that he has some good news and bad news. He says that the department has allowed him to have a team in order to apprehend whoever the one who has made the deal. However, if this mission goes sour at all, then they are going to shut down the entire Duke program and arrest Murillo. After that, a new video has synced itself to Maya's laptop, and, well, it's a little weird.
Another video. Okay. What the heck? Interesting.
I don't know about anyone else, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna pull your back out if you keep doing that. After this, I end up getting back to work, and this time I decide to dig deeper into Rex's sketchy history. I found out how to contact someone who has joined his business named Pumped Up Clicks online. However, I found out that his email and phone number isn't working, so the only way to find him is through his work. So I end up going to his company's website, and after matching his profile picture with a guy named Alvin the Almighty, I sign up for the program and he begins to text with me immediately. I start out by immediately telling him that I am the police looking into Rex. He immediately starts to vouch for Rex and praise him at the same time. I tell him that I didn't even mention any crimes, and he realizes his mistake. He then says that Rex's method works and that it has made a lot of people successful. I ask him what kind of people became successful. He can only tell me Rex's name, but vouches for him again by saying that he never mentions his successful students. Holy crap. I just realized while saying this that Rex is basically the equivalent to Andrew Tate. It is insane that Simulacra 2 was able to predict Andrew Tate before Andrew Tate was a thing. Anyway, I look at him and say, where is his wealth? And that seems to be the final straw, as he finally admits that he has fallen for a scam. I then tell him that he has enough proof to build a case against Rex, and he says that he has evidence of it being a pyramid scheme. Then he uploads this video to the internet exposing Rex for what he did.
I want to grow my business by growing each and every one of you. If you sign up as a regular subscriber, you'll get fans and likes straight out of the bat. What we want you to do then is you'll start recruiting people. And for everyone you recruit, you get a slice of their fees and even more likes. If you make it to platinum level,
not a pyramid scheme at all.
you will have an army of people working for you, getting your business's likes, promoting what you're doing. If you hustle smart, you can make it all the way to the top of the pyramid, top of the food chain, top of the food chain. Guys, this right here, this is innovation. This is how little guys like us, we're going to disrupt the entire industry. Are you with me?
Wow, he's really not trying to hide this.
This is it.
That is clearly a pyramid scheme. That is clearly a little kid over there.
Gosh, Rex, you are such a jerk. I hate you so much right now. Huh? You posted a new video on Chimera. Guess I should check it out.
I had too much money in the bank, so I used some of it to film this video. Here's a special message.
I love my car. You know how much I love my car? That's how much.
To spill a drink on it?
Who you messing with? Who you playing with? 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 I'm the best, I'm the best, it's Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm the best, I'm the best, it's Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm the best, I'm the best, it's Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm the best, I'm the best, it's Tyrannosaurus Rex. Rex, I ain't tripping daily basis. I'm a pull the trigger flex.
This guy's
tripping daily
bars.
basis. I'm a fight the system. I show you how to live outside the social conventions and try to see the humor in the worst of situations. The crowd pleaser, attention sealer. I'm sharp tooth. I stomp through. I'm a damage dealer. I rock you, talk you into submission. Mission impromptu. Rex at your party. Send everyone to the bathroom. With new jams and too advanced. You're prehistoric. Who I be is the question and the answer is rhetoric. With new jams and too advanced. You're prehistoric. Who I be is the question and the answer is rhetoric. Who you messing with? Who you playing with? 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 I'm the best, I'm the best, it's Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm the best, I'm the best, it's Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm the best, I'm the best, it's Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm the best, I'm the best, it's Tyrannosaurus Rex. Who you messing with? Who you playing with? Who you messing with? Who you playing with?
This is the greatest thing I believe I've ever heard.
Who you messing with? Who you playing with?
This is incredible. I do believe.
Oh my gosh. That was the most beautiful, incredible, life-changing video I have ever seen. I still hate Rex, but for someone to give this true gift to the world, could they truly be evil? I guess it is only a question that time can tell us. Could this be the secret behind the universe encoded in this video? The embodiment of light? Oh, it is so glorious. Anyway, I decide to confront Rex on his actions of illegally using a pyramid scheme in order to scam people out of their money. He immediately tries to justify himself by saying it's some super complicated system, but I call him out on his bullcrap, saying that Alvin suffered because of his scheme. He seems to think that he has everything all planned out, but I tell him that his failures are starting to catch up to him. He says that when you get to his level, that there's gonna be haters, and he is already so big that when Maya told him about the evil, he didn't really want it that much. I do end up telling him that Maya had his back, and he seems to say that he wished he was able to have hers in her final moments. I ask him if he remembers anything about the ritual for her sake. He says that it is all coming up blank, and then he goes on to try and blame one of the other two girls. I ask him why he thinks Arya would take the deal, and he says because she faked that whole Allura bullcrap, and now she wants out of the hate. He says that she will eliminate anyone in order to get what she wants. He then sends me a link to a website talking about how she faked the sponsorship. When we end up finishing our conversation, the phone goes haywire.
Let's see if you're right. What is happening? Okay, who are we calling? This is her phone number. Why am I calling Maya? Okay.
Oh my god. Texting with Maya's phone is creepy enough. Can you stop dragging me into this?
Can you stop dragging me into this? Can you?
Wait. What? No, it can't be.
You drag me in this.
Arya did it.
No! I would never!
Okay.
Then the call ends and everything goes back to normal. Well, that's not normal. I end up heading back to Murillo and say that they are all giving conflicting statements about the whole situation, and we both agree that this is a messy case. He asked if I have any clues on who it is, and I tell him I have a working theory. I really don't. I mean, I would have said Rex, but that song.
Who you messing with? Who you playing with? Who you...
He then tells me to try to confront our last suspect and everything should become clear. We then see a new video is loaded on Maya's laptop.
A new Maya's laptop video.
I'm recording this as proof. I've been hearing it for weeks, every night.
I don't hear anything.
And you're gonna hear it too? You hear that, right? I'm not crazy! Stop. Make it stop. Stop! Get away from me!
Okay, so she's hearing some goofy little noises.
So I end up going to Allurn in order to confirm the suspicions that Arya faked her sponsorship with them. I end up contacting them and putting in Arya's information that I got from an email. I am then able to contact the person she was speaking with about the Allurn sponsorship. Her name is Rachel, and I start the conversation off by telling her that I am the police looking into one of their sponsors. She asks if we can talk about this privately because she doesn't want her sponsors revealing any information about the company, and I agreed to her terms. I tell her about how Arya is involved in someone's death, and she starts freaking out until she realizes that Arya isn't one of their influencers. I ask why she announced it on Chimera, then, and she says that sometimes the rejects decide to fake it for themselves. She says that she doesn't know why Arya would do it, but she knows that Arya seems like a good person. She then gives me an unannounced report talking about the incident, and I let her go knowing I have all the evidence I need. I then go to confront Arya about the whole situation, and she does not seem happy about me digging into this stuff. She says that she didn't know that Alluran would make it such a big deal, and I assure her that they didn't make it that big a deal, which seems to allow her to trust me a little bit more. She says that she wouldn't take the deal because she intends to fix her problems on her own terms, which I can see out of her character. I end up telling her that Rex disagrees with the fact that she didn't take the deal, and that seems to make her really mad. She goes on to say that he is a lying scum that would say anything to get what he wants. I of course agree with her, saying that I can see right through him, except... what about the song? I then tell her that Mina said that we could end this, but Arya seems to disagree with this, saying that she is an accusatory liar. However, I end up getting her back on the Rex train, and she continues to accuse him and say that he is a scummy person, and I tell her that her story seems to check out. Oh, here we go again. Who we calling this time? We calling Rex?
Jeez, what now? I swear to God, I'm gonna find out what you look like, and if I ever see your face in person...
Do you want to see my face now?
Yep.
What the... Very funny. You almost sounded like Maya.
Do you want to see it? My face!
Jesus.
Okay. Now Maya looks even creepier on the home screen. What the heck? Kinda looks like your mom! Anyway, Mina begins to text me and ask if I got Arya and Rex on board. I tell her that they aren't buying it. She says that maybe they will listen to her, and she begins to text the group chat. They all begin blaming each other in the group chat while Mina tries to calm them down. I am then given no option to go with, trying to get the plan together, and I end up going with Arya, saying that her point on Rex being guilty is probably right. They continue to accuse each other while I try to get them back on track with Mina's plan, when they ask me to make the decision on who did it. I'm then given a choice between all three on who did it. I think to myself that Mina wouldn't have done it because she seems like the kind of person who wouldn't do it. I also don't think that Arya would do it because the mistakes she made didn't seem to be that big a deal. The only one who would possibly take the deal is Rex. If his scheme gets caught because of his haters, then he goes to jail for a long time. He has more to lose and more to gain if he gets more followers. But the song... Well, yes, in this situation he most likely took the deal. Then why would he allow such creation to be made for our eyes to see? However, while thinking this, I realized that I had already responded that Rex did it. Maybe it was the right thing to do, but if you kill the gardener, then will the garden continue to thrive? Anyway, after making this decision, Rex gets real angry, and then he says that the deal is the only thing he has left, as he tells us he has decided to take it. The other two start freaking out and start asking if the Ripple Man is going to come for them next, and I tell them not to worry because I'll handle this. I then go to Murillo and tell him that we need to bring Rex in because he took the deal. It seems that my character is too stupid to tell him that he just now took the deal, but whatever. Murillo sends a team after Rex, and then I go to check up on the other two when... What just happened? Rex! Why did you take the deal? You're so dumb. Come on! What the heck? It was? What's going on? Was that the end of the game? So I begin to speak to the Simulacra, asking it what is happening. It tells me that I am tethered to it. I ask what it did to Rex, and it seems to be confused at why I care so much about a singular loser. Little do they know the truth. It says that they connect with individuals that suit their powers, using them in order to get more people to synergize with them. It seems that this is all my fault, and thanks to me blaming Rex, I gave them exactly what they wanted. I tell them that I will stop them no matter what, but it tells me that my attempts are futile. He then says that Murillo was the reason I made the mistake, but his force can continue as long as I bend reality and tell him that Rex did it. I am then allowed to text Murillo, and I immediately tell him that we got it all wrong, that Rex wasn't the one who took the deal, and that none of them actually took the deal. He then realizes that it must have been Maya who took the deal, and he realizes his mistake. I tell him that it is not his fault, but he knows that he was the one who made the mistake. He says that Dupe will be shut down and he will be arrested for this. He says that I will be fine since I never existed in the case to begin with. The Ripple Man tells me how disappointed it is in me for not bending the truth in order to get ahead in life. I tell him that it was the right thing to do and that none of them deserve to be hurt because of Maya's mistake. It says that I crippled the one organization that could have stopped it. I end up telling it was worth it because I know that I will never stop hunting it. It says that it has seen many paths and that most of them lead to here. I'm then sent back to the real world and I get to see this as the game ends. Detective Mario.
What are you doing here? You come to see my career meet its gruesome end? Just like those kids? What, now you feel bad? Look, we both know you think I'm some old, useless, doddering crackpot. But you know damn well as I do, I'm a great cop. We were so close until you cocked everything up. We could have saved them.
Saved him?
You know why I was pushing you so hard on this? It was my only lead for so many victims. Something bad is coming our way. I can feel it in my bones. I was a fool to think I could stop it. Forget it. Just leave. I guess you tried your best. Too bad it wasn't good enough.
Oh, Mario, I thought we were friends. Then, I end up teaming up with Murillo, and he ends up turning into a dog for some reason. And we end up crime partners like Turner and Hooch. And then we end up defeating the Simulacra after breaking Taylor out of prison and letting him join our team. And this is the canon ending. Okay, this game is complicated to talk about. I see so much potential in it. But from what we got, it seems like it wanted to be bigger than it actually is. Like, the game basically has 3 endings to it. Yes, there are many different ways to get to those endings, but there are still only 3 endings, when Simulacra also had 3 endings. No, I'm not counting the one where they both die, because that is basically the same ending as if you let Anna survive and Taylor get taken. Anyway, I'll come back to the endings a little bit later, because that is a whole tangent in itself. Now, I know I'm sounding harsh towards this game, but that is because I expected for this game to be way bigger than it is, considering that it took them 2 years and a crappy side game in order to release it. Speaking of which, I feel like this game could have been way better if they didn't make Simulacra Pipe Dreams, and just worked on this instead, because this game tries to trick you into thinking it is bigger than it actually is. With the giant string of decisions it shows you at the end of the game, and the bigger sets and stuff are clearly there to try and show you that this is bigger than the first game. However, all I get from that is that this game clearly had a bigger budget. Okay, let's talk about a positive aspect about the game, which is the pumped up horror in this game. Whoever came up with the creepy Maya in a wedding dress scares is an absolute genius in horror. These are absolutely haunting and subtle in all the right ways to make it creep you out after the scares end. Overall, those scares are great, but I do wish there were more of them. Another aspect that I really do like about this game is the fact that I actually do like the story a bunch. I enjoy the whole thing about washed out stars looking for a way to get back on top again, but their souls are the cost, and it is legitimately fun to find out the mysteries at some points. However, there is a problem with this, and this was in the first Simulacra game, but I do feel like it is way worse in this game. What I'm talking about is how it gives away a lot of its mystery too early. Like, when all of them were arguing at each other halfway through the game, they all began throwing accusations of horrible things they did. This wouldn't be a problem, but this was before I had even started looking into that stuff, which a big part of this game is trying to figure that stuff out. Why would you reveal crucial details like that so early in the game when the fun is supposed to be figuring it out? Simulacra did something similar, with it being so obvious that Greg cheated on Anna that it wasn't even a mystery by the time you looked into it. However, I think it was much worse in this game, because at least in Simulacra there was a smaller mystery within the bigger mystery of the game. However, in this game, most of the game is you finding out the horrible stuff these people did. It's really hard to talk about all this stuff about the game because it all connects to one concise moment within the game, and that is the section where you have to figure out each of the wrong things these people did on the internet. I mean, this whole section feels so useless because it contradicts what the whole game has already told you. If the TRM was supposed to get rid of all your bad press, then I shouldn't be able to find any bad press on any of these people, right? I mean, that is the biggest mystery of the game, and it contradicts itself. Don't get me wrong, this section of the game is a lot of fun. Trying to figure out the truth behind these people made me feel like a real detective. But when it contradicts the big mystery of the game, then it kind of taints the entire game. Okay, next I want to talk about the characters of the game. First is Murillo, who according to the game is supposed to be like a mean old teddy bear that you just want to hug no matter how much he hates, and I like this, but it doesn't connect to the story well. I mean, by the end of the game, you were supposed to realize that Detective Murillo has been forcing you to solve the mystery his way, and that is why Rex died. But if they really wanted to show this, then they could have shown him as a mean detective rather than a grandpa. I like that version of the character, but for the story that they are trying to tell, it just doesn't work. Okay, next is Mina, who I think fits her character pretty well. She looks like a wannabe rock star who is trying to make it in a cruel world. I think her character shows that well from the way she talks, through her secret, which was that she used a person she didn't know as bait to bring people to listen to her music. This is a very well written character that fits the story quite well. Next is Arya, whose main basic character trait is that she is rude and doesn't care about anything unless it is benefiting her. This doesn't work for a character, but in order to get the good ending, you have to get those people to trust you. But it is hard to want to say nice things to a character that is rude all the time. Also, she does not look like a beauty influencer. She looks like 40 years old, which really doesn't fit the character well. It's about the same as Rex, Other than his beautiful music, his only trait is that he likes money and he has money, but he wants more money. He never shows any kind of character beyond that. He's just a jerk who seems to think he knows best, which makes it very difficult to want to say nice things while playing the game. Like, yes, Greg was a jerk in the first game, but what made it so fun was messing with him when he was a jerk, and at least that didn't affect my ending of the story at all because he was going to leave no matter what by the end of the game. I don't think they knew what to do with Maya's character though, because at some points in the game, she is seen as a manipulative jerk, and at other points in the game, she's supposed to be this inspirational, nice person to the rest of the group, all while secretly being the one who took the deal for herself. Like, story developers, you have to choose what kind of character she is, manipulative or nice. You can't go back and forth. One more thing about the characters is that they don't look like they would hang out at all. Like, none of these characters look like they're about to get burgers and fries together. I get that they were trying to make them all different influencers so as not to make them the same character, but a 50-year-old businessman, 40-year-old makeup girl, a 19-year-old singer, and a 25-year-old fitness model? I mean, I could see the three girls being good friends, but why are they hanging out with this 50-year-old man? It is so weird. Okay, I think I've talked about everything about the main game, so let's just move on to the different endings, because boy do I have some things to say. Okay, so my initial plan was to go in and just watch all the different endings to this game, and I did that for all the bad endings, which are basically just the same ending, except someone different dies and either Dupe shuts down or all the kids die or get arrested. Anyway, what I want to talk about is the good ending, because what the heck were they thinking adding so much more content that you miss out on by getting the bad ending, which every time you are most likely going to get? Trust me, I had to work in order to get the good ending, and it basically took me an extra day of work in order to get it. However, what I find out is that there are 3 extra puzzles in the game that are super fun and should not have been left only for people who get the good ending. Oh yeah, skip to this timestamp if you want to try and get the good ending yourself. Y'all gone? Good. Okay, so basically you have to convince all 3 of them to join your team and stop the Ripple Man, which is easier said than done. Then they each have a piece of the ritual that they remember that you have to collect through some puzzle. Yeah, remember how I got that app for Mina by convincing that guy that a dead girl wanted to date him? That was the puzzle for Mina. Next, I would need to guide Rex to the police station in order to steal a phone jammer from the evidence room. Next, when you convince Arya, you need to find out Maya's locker code in order to get a totem to trap the Ripple Man in. Then they do the ritual and you do a kind of boss fight thing where you press the delete button on all their accounts in order to kill the Ripple Man. Now you can go ahead and keep the whole final boss fight for the good ending, but all the other stuff was things that I would have missed out on if I hadn't decided to go ahead and try the good ending, to see what I would have missed out on from just watching a video. You gotta think that most casual gamers are just going to play through this game once in order to get their canon ending, and then watch a video. Because of this, they are going to miss out on a whole bunch of stuff that they could have experienced. Now, I'm not saying that you have to add specific quests to the bad endings of the game, but maybe instead of it just ending when you make one mistake, make it go down another set of quests. That not only makes your game more complex, but it also allows for way more replayability, because at the moment, you only need to replay this game twice. And trust me, once you know all that intro stuff, you can prepare and fly through it. This game feels like the creators wanted to create something huge, but they knew it was going to take so long that the hype for the game might die, like a lot of other indie horror games have done in the past. So they created a crappy side game in the meantime. However, they spent so much time on that, they ended up losing precious time they could have been using in order to make this game perfect. I do want to say, though, that this game is a lot of fun, and if you want to play it, that's fine. I'm not crapping on this game, I'm just explaining kind of what went wrong with it, why I feel like it bit off more than it could chew because it made too small a burger. I don't know that if that metaphor works. I'm kind of improvising right now, but like, that's kind of my way of explaining what went wrong with this game. This game is still a lot of fun, and I recommend you play it if you want to after this. It's about as good as Simulacra if you're looking for a Simulacra game sequel, if you want more of that, so I would recommend playing it. Now, I know this was a bit of a complex breakdown of it all, but we're still no closer to solving this mystery, and we still have one more game to go. Why do you look so confused? Wait, did you not realize there was a...